Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have a lunar eclipse, and firstly, to anyone watching this, I'm wishing you a beautiful transition into a new chapter. This is it's a beginning of a next 6-month chapter, and I'm wishing you a beautiful start of a great story. Ancient Egyptians believed that lunar eclipse represented the struggle between light and dark, symbolizing inner battles and the need to confront hidden emotions. My wish for you right now is to really become aware of what emotions you don't want to bring into that new chapter, into that new life of yours. I know it's not like saying I'm leaving sadness behind, or I'm leaving fear behind, or I'm leaving this kind of reaction to certain people or circumstances behind, because it doesn't work like that. Our psychology is quite complex and our emotional system is so deeply habitual. But it's about awareness, recognizing tasks, recognizing your tasks in life. Like, what are the tasks that are charging you up with life, and what are the tasks that are draining you from life? Because this is where we are really confronting the most of what we don't want to carry on anymore. And that's what this lunar eclipse is all about right now. All this energy that is present right now, and maybe making you more emotional, or maybe making you more vulnerable, or maybe making you more intuitively aware of these certain tasks that you truly want to embody more frequently. Like the reason you've been born, and just knowing your worth. It's you that needs to set up the price, right? I was just reading one book, and there was something that truly inspired me. It was written like, it's up to you to set your own price. Ask for less, and that is just what you will get. Ask for more, however, and you send a signal that you are worth a king's ransom. Even those who turn you down respect you for your confidence. And that respect will eventually pay off in ways you cannot imagine. Can you resonate with that, my friend? It's you. It's up to you to set your own price, to set your own worth, to remind yourself, hey, I don't tolerate this bullshit, or I don't tolerate this whatever anymore. I'm here to do something way bigger or better or whatever. It doesn't say like, I'm here to, to reach all these great things. But if you're in a position where you truly don't tolerate yourself being anymore, it's not about hating yourself for being there, but just reminding yourself that there are certain things that don't need to stay there anymore. There are certain relationships that don't need to be nurtured anymore. Like something you should let go of a long time ago. Or activities or habits or whatever. And just bring some clarity to it. In Vedic astrology, eclipses are seen as periods of introspection and karmic clearing. So they advise against starting new ventures during an eclipse, and instead focus on spiritual growth and release. So firstly, karmic clearing can be understood as ending the habits of activities that are making effects you don't want to experience anymore. This is the karmic cleansing. It's understanding what are the motivations behind activities that are creating effects you don't want to see in your life anymore. understanding motivations behind them. Those may be beliefs. Maybe your parents told you that those who have money are bad people, are evil people, and therefore you're avoiding money and then you're complaining being broke. And if you find yourself there, it's, there's a belief behind, there's a story behind. And I know you've experienced examples who are proving a complete opposite of this story, like very good people doing good things. And there was a dream of yours being, a successful, businessman or artist or whatever. And you've been avoiding the idea of succeeding with it just because of that belief that was making you feel like you have to avoid anything that is bigger than the situation where you're constantly lacking something. And it's truly up to you to set your own worth, to set your own price. You need to come to the understanding that worthiness truly comes firstly out of story or believing to be true about life. And, well, everything is a story, right? It's a mechanism through which we've been living lives for thousands and thousands of years through stories. We don't even know what reality is. We just believe a certain story that for us feels real. And it deeply affects our behaviors, and it deeply affects how we feel, and it deeply affects our future. So if we want to allow the cleansing of all these karmic energies, we need to go into introspection and notice who we truly are. And when I say who you truly are, I don't mean like, you already know, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. This doesn't mean anything if in daily life it doesn't change you. If you don't find dignity within you, firstly for you, noticing that you've been created to fulfill something. Like, what tasks fulfill you? And when I say fulfill, I mean what gives you truly a sense of life. Like a sense of, I don't want to stop doing this. What tasks give you this sense? And could you do it so consistently that you will become so good with it that it will be impossible to not see you, to not recognize your work, to not notice it. Not again for egoistic reasons or whatever, but just to be an example, because we are shifting from old age to a new age. In old age, there was a lot of, faking it, but creating a good marketing and, promoting it like it's a good quality. In business, in many companies, like if you go into a common grocery store, there's a lot of things that are promoted as food, promoted as a very good quality food, but it has no nutrition, right? It's an old materialistic age. Now the new one comes with quality, and quality starts in character. It starts in you, discovering you, noticing tasks that truly express you, ways where your true self can really be seen in your work. Like in the great poetic book, The Prophet, there was a saying, love is work made visible, something like that. And this is the new way of living. I know it's not something that's just happening all day long, but it's something we aim towards, and we work for it. We make it possible. And as you know, in ancient Chinese culture, lunar eclipse or eclipses were viewed as omens that something was blocking the natural order, urging people to reflect on personal blockages. So the question is, what is blocking your natural order? Again, recognizing, all these tasks and what is blocking you from fulfilling them. Sure, there are things that are out of our control. There always are. But how many times we just waste time? How many times we just distract ourselves? How many times we don't take time to organize ourselves, so then we do certain unnecessary things? It's really a time of reverence for you, for life, for creation. And with reverence for creation, I mean really respecting and honoring being here at this time, because it's a heavy time for most people. And for those of you who are doing your thing, who are working on yourself, well, I think many people could benefit from that. And for that, you need to be strong. You need to know your worth. You need to be healthy. You need to be playful and creative. You need to know your nature. And just recognizing whatever holds you back is really not real. You made it real. You made it real because you kept believing into its power. The only power here is you. And once you truly embrace you, you become unstoppable. You see, as I mentioned before, even those who turn you down respect you for your confidence. Even those who turn you down respect you for your confidence. When you show up confident, when you do your thing confidently, you start radiating energy that brings back to you things that are on the level of confidence. And you know what it is, because you've experienced that before when you've done something with a sense of confidence and people started respecting you. Can you remember that, you? When you've paid something confidently because you believed so much into that thing and then you've been rewarded somehow. So it's a great time to see that you're finally waking up and that you are taking your life into your own hands. So one powerful thing you can do today is to write down your most ideal life in the future. Let's say 1 year from now. How do you see yourself? If you would go through a perfect day, it's actually a practice called perfect day. From 1 year from now, pick a random day. What is a perfect day? How are you waking up? How are you feeling? Who's beside you? Where are you waking up? through what kind of windows you're looking and what are you seeing? What are you wearing? And then if you move on, like, what is surrounding you? Are there people? Is there a partner of yours? Are there kids or animals? Is there a certain car in front of that building? Or anything else? What kind of weather there is? What are you doing if you go into a moment where you're working, doing, or being at your job? What are you doing? What people are surrounding you, and so on. And then evening. How are you spending your time in the evening? What's happening? Who is with you? And then what's your maybe evening routine? And then going into bed and feeling your body placing into a surface beneath you. How are you feeling? What kind of bed it is? How are you feeling the shits and everything? It's a wonderful practice to feel yourself 1 year from now, noticing how much your life changed because you've done something today, because you've left something behind today, because you've decided that today is the day you're leaving your past partially behind. It's just a decision. It doesn't mean that tomorrow everything will change and you will be healed. It just means that tomorrow you will be much more aware and you will have all these emotional reactions still, and certain people will still trigger you. But you will know that it's not a big deal anymore. It's not a big problem anymore. These things will still be repeating, but you will know it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. It doesn't hurt you anymore. You just accept things more easily because you're not obsessed by problems anymore. You know, it's all a mental game, deciding, if I see that future of mine, why would I be so obsessed with anything that is just an effect from my past doings? Your present life is a manifestation of your past life, of, your yesterday's life. So your future life can become different than your past if right now you choose and you decide that you will do things differently. So that future can come to fruition because you've changed. Not because you wanted it, but because you've changed. You firstly change that mental attitude because you've seen yourself, you've seen that perfect day, you felt it. And now that feeling must inspire you to make a change. Otherwise, that vision was not really inspiring, right? When I'm visualizing my future, it always inspires me. Like if I see myself healthy and in a good shape in my vision of the future, I feel inspired to work out today, because that's how I will make it happen. If I see myself being abundant in the future, I feel inspired to work today. And that's how it works. That's why we have all these creative capacities. So may this lunar eclipse today inspire you that it's time for you to leave this old you behind with a sense of gratitude and love. So you can really love yourself into a new you and therefore give birth to you. The one that's not so reactive anymore, but is a doer, a creative doer that has a bit more of patience acceptance, and dignity. And if you can feel yourself like that, well, then I'm sure that you're about to change a lot. My friend, you got this. Drop down a comment of gratitude or just a word that inspires you. Yesterday I've seen so much of wonderful affirmations and it inspired me, and I'm sure it inspired many people. Keep doing that. Keep inspiring others. Let's build up this momentum of energy that will remind people of what matters, what's important. So the important things can become the most important things that often are not for many people. Like they say, for me, important thing is to be healthy, and then they're eating all other things than what's healthy. So make sure that the important things stay the most important things. Drop it into a comment section. And thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art on our store, AttractPassion.com. You're truly appreciated. Also, thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. I love you all, my friends. Thank you so much. Until next time, one love.